Here's a great opportunity for you to learn from a quarterback that has had a lot of success at the high school level, that is one of Kentucky's all-time leaders in completion percentage at 71%. He has thrown for 135 touchdowns and only 15 interceptions. And I am with Cole Hodge of Christian Academy of Louisville, committed to East Carolina University. First off, talk about your position at quarterback. And let's start off. Give me a walkthrough, first off, for a week of, let's say you've got an opponent coming up on Friday. What are you doing in terms of preparation?
Yes, sir. First off, thanks for having me on. Football's an awesome game, and so every week you got to prepare. Yeah, so Monday and Tuesday are my big film days. Getting with coach in our office. I'm thankful to have Christian and Hunter Cantwell, both NFL quarterbacks on the staff. So I can get in there, watch film with those guys, break down the opponent's defense, and then kind of get our game plan for what we want to do that week against their defense. So Monday, Tuesday is a lot of, getting with the coaches, figuring out the game plan stuff. And the rest of the week is kind of cutting up film, sending to the receivers, finding tendencies of defensive backs or safeties, or when they rotate, or when they're in press bail, if they're weights in the back of their stance. It's just small things like that we can, catch them in difficult spots for them. Just get with my receivers and making sure everyone's on board.
And what are you looking for on film? What are tendencies you're looking for, or when you study, what are you looking for, like when you're watching an opponent?
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking at a lot of blitzes. Tendencies of linebackers that they're creeping up when they blitz, or if they're walking the ball right when the snap in, and then a lot of cornerbacks. So if they're playing press, either press bail or if they're pressing, a lot of times where they line up, like the depth that they line up is kind of telling what they're going to do at the line of scrimmage.
And what would be a time that you could think of in your career that you feel like that maybe you won a game because of what you did in the film room?
Maybe I think I'll go back to the Central game. The first game was a battle. They did some great things defensively to kind of stop our offense. And then the rest of the year we knew that was going to be a tough opponent in the playoffs, and so we watched that film 100 times and came with some good game plans for them. So I think the film room is your biggest key. So just feeling comfortable at quarterback is a big part of playing quarterback. If you feel comfortable with what they're going to do, then you can go out there and just play football.
Mm-hmm. And now let's get into the position and the mechanics of it somewhat. Describe what you're looking for when you go to the line.
When I go to the line, I'm looking for pre-snap defense, looking at the safeties, looking at the cornerbacks, seeing if any linebackers are trying to blitz or move around, and then obviously a post-snap read. So right when you snap the ball and you drop, looking at are those safeties rotating, are those corners press bailing, are they changing what your defense? If you thought it was cover 2, or is it now rotating to a cover 3, or is it the same defense you thought? And then after you get the ball and you're taking your drop, and if they're in the same defense, you're reading your conflict defender. So if they're in zone, reading that conflict defender. If they're in man, then you get into your guys and letting it rip.
And when it comes to communication and leadership in that situation, because I know you're looking to see what's going on with what's going on with the players, and what your teammates, where they're lined up, or maybe you want to communicate something to your line. Talk about that process for you and what tips you give.
Yeah, for sure. If you're quarterback, you have to be a leader of the team. That's just what comes with playing the position, and that's one part I love about it. You got to calm those guys down when guys are getting rattled, and just when you're doing great plays, you got to calm them down. Say, hey, be level-headed. So you got to know the offense like the back of your hand. You got to know protection. That's one big thing I think quarterbacks struggle with is they get sacked playing their line. Knowing protection is a big thing about offense. If you know your protection, you feel comfortable with those guys blocking up front, that's going to help you a lot. And so, it's linemen, receivers, running backs, they all have different personalities, so you got to be able to communicate to all of them. So that's the great thing about playing quarterback is you're that leader of the team.
And regarding pocket presence, because you mentioned the just what you did about quarterbacks and getting sacked, and of course you need to have a strong sense of awareness in the pocket. No doubt about you do. And how do you develop the ability to sense the pass rush and know when to step up and run, which you do sometimes, or to throw the ball?
Yeah, I think pocket presence is a lot of experience. You know, the more times you play, the more times you feel that pocket presence is definitely going to help you. So, you know, learning with experience is definitely a big tool, but also, you know, watching film of yourself in your pocket, game film, is also big. You know, a lot of times you can't really see the pocket. You know, you're looking downfield. So, you know, watching that film and, you know, getting to see it, if you could have stepped up in the pocket or you could have scrambled or things like that, really helps you. We talk about film a lot, hammering the film, and just film's a huge part about playing quarterback. You know, pocket, you know, everything, just hammering that film room.
And then let's hit on accuracy, and that's especially a big point for you, throwing 71%. It's, at least as the latest KHSAA stat of 2021 for a career, that would put you at number 2 all time for a career. And when it comes to accuracy, what drills or techniques do you feel like have helped you the most over the course of your career with that?
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously I'm blessed to have my coaching staff, and they've helped me so much throughout my career, but, you know, a lot of that is just getting my receivers after practice, you know, all throughout the summer. You know, I've had different receivers throughout my career, and so, you know, just the more times you can throw to them and the more times you know where they're going to be, you know, you're going to have completions. You know, taking what the defense gives you is also a big part. You know, you see 10 yards for a first down, so if you have athletes out there, take what they give you and let those guys run. And then also, you know, if you know where those receivers are going to be, then you're able to look at the defense and not having to key on your receiver. You know, if you're reading the defense, you can get that ball out quicker and on time more. So I think all those things contribute to my passing percentage.
And now for the footwork part of it, what do you do on that end to develop that quick, efficient footwork that you have?
Yes, sir. A lot of my footwork came from AAU basketball when I was younger, just playing defense against top athletes in the state. The things I do now, I you know, take some drops. I go on the ladder, do some footwork on the ladder. We'll take drops and work on stepping up in the pocket or stepping up and scrambling. And, you know, when you have free times, a lot of things, if you're throwing to your receivers, you know, maybe instead of just doing a 3-step and throwing it, maybe do a 3-step drop, hitch up through 2 times, then throw a ball, or hitch up 1 time, you know, escape the pocket, then throw it. You know, things like you can do just, you know, to get your savviness playing quarterback.
What do you feel like for you was one of the biggest challenges that you had to overcome to get to where you are?
Yeah, there's a lot of things. You know, you're going to hit adversity when you're playing quarterback. It's just part of the game. You know, a lot of things are on your shoulders. You know, after interceptions, you can't look down. You know, you got to keep your head up. You know, everyone in the offense is looking at you to lead them. And so as soon as you get rattled and your head goes down, you know, it's going to be chaos. And so even if things are going bad for you, you're having a bad game. I mean, everyone's had bad games. I've had bad games. And even if you have a bad game, you got to keep your head up. You got to be positive. You got to be cheering those guys on. You got to be telling them, this is my bad. I'm going to get it right. You know, I'm going to get it right. Let's start rolling. You know, every time I got to the huddle, we start to drive. I'm fist up in every single one of the players in the huddle. So let's go do this thing. And so, you know, giving them confidence is a big part of your offense. So the whole team has confidence, and they think you have confidence, and they think you're ready to play, and they're ready to play.
And one moment I think of this year was the state championship game for you. You picked up a big win over a Bell County team that was very good, and they started the game off, had the football, when I think almost right in the whole first quarter about, and scored first. And those high pressure game situations, especially in a state championship game, can be challenging. How do you stay calm and composed in an environment like that when the game is on the line?
For sure, yeah, that's hard. You know, especially taking the whole first quarter. You're like, man, we gotta score every drive. They just scored and took a whole first quarter. We're gonna get maybe 2 or 3 drives, and you know, we gotta capitalize on each one. So, you know, that's just, I don't know, just being able to lock in and you know, just having confidence. Like I say, just gotta have confidence in yourself when you're playing quarterback. You know, it's a hard position, so you having confidence in yourself, everyone's gonna have confidence in you. So you got to be that leader, and you got to have confidence in yourself. Everyone's looking at you, and so if you have confidence, everyone else is going to have confidence, and in high-pressure situations, to go out and ball.
And Cole, before we get to some questions to get to know you better as a person, let's talk a little bit about the last question from the training perspective. What is your advice for you see that person maybe watching you that's maybe 12 or 13-year-old that's like, gosh, I want to be like this guy. Of course, you're a 3-star quarterback. Committed or signed with East Carolina. And, the Kentucky Gatorade, the Gatorade Kentucky Football Player of the Year. What are your top pieces of advice for a young player?
For sure. Yeah, I think just work hard, man. Nothing substitutes for hard work. And so, just everything you do, give 100%. One advice for quarterbacks coming up is, I think, when your team's running sprints, you're working as hard as you can. You want to be on that top 3. Quarterbacks now, you got to be dual threat. So, especially if you're not 6'4", you got to be fast. So, work on the condition and working on the sprints, work on your footwork and get in the pocket, and then, just working hard at everything you do. This game's not easy, and so just hard work and, dedication, this game will pay you back. But, you got to love this game. You just got to put everything you got into it. Work hard, religiously stay in the film room. Make sure you know your playbook. Make sure you know protections, what your receivers are going to be, what your drop is, what your read is. Because if you're thinking about those things while you're playing, then this game's really hard. You're reading the defense. Your guys are coming at you trying to kill you. And so if you know what you're doing, you're going to read the defense, and you know where your guys are going to be. You're just reading that defender, and as soon as he makes his decision, you're letting that ball loose. So just preparation and hard work. Just can't go wrong with that.
Nice. And now looking back, first off, getting to know you better, Cole. Recently, you tore your labrum in your hip. How have you been feeling, and what's the progress on your recovery?
Just say I've been doing good. I tore my labrum basketball season. Just found out a couple months ago. So I had surgery 4 weeks ago, and the healing process is doing good. I'm sitting at home. That's the boring part, but I've just started physical therapy. That's doing good. I'll miss my freshman season, so I'm gonna reclassify next year and early enroll in January. So I'll go to school instead of June 8th. I'll report in January. Save a year extra eligibility. But everyone has those hiccups. Injuries are part of football, and so it's nothing big. I'm just working through that, trying to get healthy again, and getting back at it.
Looking back on your career at Christian Academy of Louisville, you got a lot of great memories. The first time I saw you and met you, of course, you were quite helpful with a lot of the pronunciations on the game, on that state semifinal game against Ashland when we talked that week, and you had you were coming into that game because I knew that'd be a big game for you because those past 2 years Cal had made the state semis, but of course game was like a roadblock until that year against Ashland. But talk about at your time some of your favorite memories and maybe one of the challenges at Cal that you had.
Yeah, for sure. My favorite memory is the last pass of my career. The state championship game this year, I threw a pass to my brother. My last pass of my career, some touchdown pass to him was pretty special. So that was really cool. And then, the biggest obstacle of my career was my sophomore year. We were pretty good. We were favored to win it all. We got upset in the second round to Paducah-Tillman, or the third round to Paducah-Tillman. So that was a stinger. They were a really good team, had a lot of athletes. And so that was a really good team. We had a good team, too. And so, that really stung. That was going to be, try to be my first state championship, try to be Coach Cantwell's first state championship my sophomore year. And so that really stung. And then, just that off season, every workout I worked even harder, just, knowing in the back of my mind, I want that state championship title. So, that made me work even harder and our team work even harder. And so we got to see them the next year in the third round and got to beat them to go on and win a state championship that year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you mentioned Paducah Tillman, some irony behind that. And with Coach Cantwell, that was he was a quarterback there in 2003. I remember that was my sophomore year, and they were ranked number 1 in the state for a majority of the year. And let's talk a little bit about the school. What do you like about Cal, and what's maybe something, an event or a club that you're involved with that may I know in particular you're involved with Special Olympics. Talk about the rewarding parts of that and what it means to you.
Of course, yeah, I think Christian Academy is very special. The support, the administration, everything is very special, and I try to give back as much as I can. I try to go to a lot of the youth practices and youth games and cheer those guys on. And yeah, I'm heavily involved in Special Olympics and giving back to those guys. I have a soft heart for those guys and just trying to make their day. Younger kids, trying to pour into those guys, make those guys better. And so, I've had a lot of help through my career, and so I'm trying to give, my advice back to younger kids and, what I got from older kids throughout my career.
Mm-hmm. And earlier you mentioned that last touchdown pass to your younger brother, Connor. Of course, Connor had over 100 receptions and had, I believe, 23 touchdowns this year. Talk about what it's like in particular to play, because I know that even though a lot of the teammates you guys consider brothers, but to get to play with a biological brother, that has to be pretty special.
Oh, for sure. It's huge. Watching film together every second at home is a big deal. And I'm just, having that trust of him, where I'm throwing that ball up, he's going to get it, or I'm throwing that ball, early, that he's going to be there off his break. And, there's a kind of trust between you two that, is kind of rare. And so, I have that trust in him. That's big when you're playing quarterback, trusting your receivers, be in that spot so you can throw early and throw on time. And, he's a heck of a receiver, man. He's out of my big stats are from him, and, he made me look good. So, I'm blessed to have him.
Yeah, he is a big guy. He stands, I'm guessing, the time I saw him play, a good 6'3", I'd say. He's definitely got some good length there. And let's talk a little bit about some of your hobbies. When you get a chance for a breather off the field, what is something that you like to do in your spare time?
Yeah, I enjoy playing golf. So I've picked that up a little bit. I'm pretty good at ping pong. So, doing those things. I have a lot of free time, during the football season. School, watching film, practice. But in the summer, going to the pool, golf, outside my workouts and stuff. So I enjoy doing those things.
You talked about playing basketball at Cal. What would be one of your memories from that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I've had a lot of memories from my basketball years. I think probably starting as an 8th grader has helped me a lot. Playing quarterback, just maturing, being around seniors, playing with those guys. I think that was a big opportunity for me to kind of mature at that young age, try to win games with those guys.
Mm-hmm. And who are some of your role models? And it doesn't have to necessarily be a football player, but somebody you look up to and try to model yourself after.
Of course, I think my dad and my brother are both my role models. My dad always pushed us, whatever you do, be your best at it. And so, he's pushed us. I'm so thankful to have him. I wouldn't be close to where I am today without him. And he's given so much time and effort into me. And, he's never missed a workout. He's coached a lot of my teams. And so he's been giving so much of his time to me and my brother. And so I'm very thankful for him. And then, my brother, they're pushing me throughout the years. We push each other. So those two guys for sure.
Mm-hmm. And what is your favorite place to eat locally?
I would say Drake. I love eating Drake.
And what would your pregame ritual be?
Yeah, me and my receivers go out to eat. before every game. Listen to music. There's nothing like, sitting in the locker room, listening to music before a game. And then me and my receivers would go up, before warm-up by ourselves and kind of I'd throw some high balls to them, some jump balls, some over-the-shoulder balls, some back-shoulder balls. Just kind of like 10 yards away, just kind of warming them up a little bit, loosening up my arms a little bit. Not any big throws or anything, but just, getting them used to, the hard catches that they might face that night. Just getting me ready, dialed in, getting them dialed in.
Nice. And last few questions for you, Cole. And first off, what's a cool fact about yourself? Something that not a lot of people know.
Yeah, cool fact. I actually guarded LeBron James' son, Barney James, in AAU basketball when I was in 4th grade. My dad had an AAU program. I was playing on the 5th grade team, and we played them up in Chicago. So I got to guard Barney James.
Wow, that is a cool experience to share. And are there any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, my whole South Insurance football team, my coaching staff, my family. Give thanks to God. He's blessed me for sure. And I wouldn't be here without God and what He's done for me. So that's it.
And I'm going to throw in one more question, Cole, and I ask this sometimes, but in particular in your case, one of the all-time greats to come through. When you see people look back at you and what you were able to accomplish in high school for Christian Academy of Louisville, what do you want your legacy to be?
For sure, yeah. I want my legacy to be great role models to the younger kids. Someone people can look up to and say, I want to be like him. Have great character, be a great leader, make others around me better. Any chance I can get to make someone better around me, help out in any way. Not just football, but any way in someone's life or anything that they need to help someone out is how I want to be remembered.
That's awesome. You certainly meet that. Well, Cole, we want to say thank you for your time, and thank you for coming on today. And be sure to follow Cole's career as he gets ready to go on to East Carolina to play football, earn the opportunity, and no doubt about it, we're excited to continue to follow him. And be sure to stay tuned for more interviews here on this podcast. And want to say thank you, God bless you, and see you soon.